Authorities in the town of New Sharon say a dump truck driver is lucky to be alive this morning after he took a corner too fast and crashed. It happened yesterday morning around 9:30 on Mile Hill Road. In a post on social media, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office says the truck was speeding as it came to the corner, causing it to drift onto the shoulder of the road, and then the driver overcorrected, causing the truck to cross the center line, crash through a guardrail, and land in a stream. The sheriff's office said the driver was taken to a hospital for treatment. They also said the crash caused significant damage to a culvert there.
Representatives for Amazon are suggesting some changes to plans for proposed warehouse in Gorham. After getting some pushback from local residents, company reps say they'd be willing to reduce the size of the proposed facility. They laid out the new plan during a planning board meeting last night. Now, one of the changes would be reducing the number of parking spaces at the site to help preserve some of the wetlands there. But of course, Amazon also says less space for parking means fewer Amazon trucks, and that means fewer deliveries.
So a direct reduction of van parking spaces means a reduction of vans, which means a reduction of outbound capacity. We also showed some alternative site plans that relocated van parking to the other areas of the site. But studying this led to further disturbance of wetlands, leaving the board, the DEP, and the community to choose between residents or resources.
Planning board members also addressed some concerns about traffic and noise impacts from the facility. Amazon reps said deliveries would not begin until after 10 a.m., and they're using technology and fences to mitigate any noise. The planning board is having another hearing on this topic. It'll happen on September 14th. Well, flock cameras are continuing to pop up all throughout the state. Those AI-powered license plate readers can also be used to help police and other agencies analyze vehicle information.
That's right, but concerns about privacy and potential for abuse are causing more Mainers to push back. News Center Maine's Drew Peters takes us to the latest community where the cameras have become a central issue.
On any given street here in Auburn, you're likely to come across a camera like this one, or these ones behind me. But it's these kind of cameras that are causing controversy around town.
They track the totality of your movement, regardless if a crime has been committed or suspicion of a crime.
Owned by Flock, State Representative David Boyer says 6 of these AI-powered license plate readers were installed by the city of Auburn with little public input.
These aren't CCTVs, you know, they're not private businesses, they're security cameras or anything like that. This is a international for-profit company.
A company he and other community members argue is making a profit with the hundreds of gigabytes of data the cameras collect each day.
And it could be abused, it could be leaked, it could be sold, it could be abused by our own government. You know, that's why, you know, we're seeing left and right folks really get behind the movement to get rid of these.
Bipartisan support from fellow state legislators and nearly 2,000 residents submitting a petition to the city to ban the cameras.
There's been some people, of course, concerned that their freedom is being approached by these cameras.
City Councilor Leroy Walker is one of the names on that petition, but he says he signed for a different reason.
I think it's such a waste of having that camera out there when there's all kinds of other opportunities for it.
Opportunities to help support what he says is a local police department that's already stretched thin.
I want them where the traffic is heavy going in and out of the city and the speeders. The speeders, Center Street, Washington Street.
And while Walker sees more cameras as a solution, Boyer argues there's a better way to help officers support their communities.
We need to get back to more community policing.
Both sides now waiting on the city to decide whether the decision to ban the cameras will pass or go to a public vote.
I think we can trust our chief and our city manager.
That was Drew Peters reporting. Representative Boyer says he and other legislators are also pushing for a statewide ban on flock cameras. These calls come after other Maine communities like South Portland have removed their flock cameras in response to community backlash. Lee?
Thanks, Sharon. Senator Angus King working to make health care more affordable and accessible to seniors. Newly introduced legislation would bring some updates to the Medicare physician fee schedule. The Provider Reimbursement Stability Act would reevaluate how much doctors receive through Medicare for their services. About 33% of physician services have been declined for Medicare reimbursement since 2001. According to the American Medical Association, that's where those stats came from. Now, King says this bill would help Maine seniors get a full range of care.
Congresswoman Shelley Pingree is asking Maine Health to keep labor and delivery services open in Damariscotta. The Board of Trustees is planning to vote on the closure of that unit at Lincoln Hospital this week. Over the last 10 years, Maine has lost 10 hospital labor and delivery departments. Pingree says the consequences of ending those services in Damariscotta would be detrimental for the entire Mid-Coast region.